Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Everyday Truths podcast, where we make faith real and relevant so we can live it out in our everyday lives. My name is Sherri. I'm the creator of Everyday Truths, and today we have an awesome conversation for you all about living out your faith in your workplace when it comes to dealing with other people and holding on to your values and sharing your faith. And so this conversation is for anybody who has a difficult time with their faith in their workplace, or honestly, just has to deal with people on a daily basis. And so let's get into it.
Well, hey there, and welcome to the Everyday Truths podcast, tabletop edition.
Let's go.
I asked on social, like, hey, what topics do you want to hear about? Like, how can we, you're striving to live out your faith in your everyday life. Like, throw your questions out there, and got a ton of them, and they were fantastic. And so I'm going to try to kind of grab a cross section of questions, because we had a lot of questions about like workplace dynamics, living out your faith in your workplace, dealing with difficult situations. And so I want to talk about that today. We have an hourglass up here, but it's not a whole hour. It's actually only 15 minutes. We're going to try to talk about that topic in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to go, but before we jump in, we're going to do my favorite thing, your least favorite thing. We're going to play a game. Just because, it's not like really a game. This is like, we're going to start out. I want to start out the episodes like, bad life advice or, things like that. And so like I was telling you, like when people were asking these questions, that one came in and it was like, should I break up with my boyfriend if, and I just like absolutely stopped reading right there. I was like, yes. If you're asking the question, yes.
Break up.
Bad life advice. There you go. Anyway, so actually true story, side tangent. That pretty much was like my mentality dating all the time. It's like, if I could find a reason to break up with you, then obviously we're supposed to be broken up. And
Absolutely.
So Wes proposed after we'd been dating for like just a few months, because I think he was like, she's a flight risk, but I like her a little. And so put a ring on it.
Runaway bride.
Put a ring on it. Okay, so this is the game we're going to play.
Okay.
It's just, I'm going to name it Really Strong Opinions.
Really strong opinions, which both of us kind of have.
Yeah, but they have to be on like nonsensical things. Not nonsense, but they have to be like things that like
neutral things.
But like they matter to you, but like you don't care if other people care about them.
Yeah.
It's not like, this isn't like fighting politics, massive theological debate, things like that. This isn't like, parenting. This is fun things. Okay. So I will start.
Okay.
You ready? Maybe
Yes.
we'll do 3 each. How about that?
3. Okay.
Okay. Here. Strawberry is a garbage flavor in all candy. Garbage flavor. The absolute worst. I love real strawberries. Fake strawberry flavor, dead to me.
Do you like Starburst?
Yes.
You will not eat the pink ones?
I don't like the pink ones.
Those are the best ones.
No, I like the red and the orange ones and the yellow ones.
The pink ones. The red ones taste like
they're cherry.
Plastic.
All cherry flavored. It all tastes like plastic. Okay, so next, your really strong opinion.
If you are wearing athletic wear to the grocery store, you better walk your cart back. Do not show up to the grocery store. Do not show up to the grocery store in leggings and a cute athleisure shoe outfit and your Adidas, and then be like, oh, it's too far. I can't walk it back.
I heard somebody say once that they leave the cart out there because somebody else is going to need it. And I'm like, madam, this is like South Central Texas.
Yes.
Like if I put my kid in this cart, this is when my kids were little, they're going to have grill marks on their rear end, like from the cart.
You can't
this
do
is
that.
Unreasonable. Okay.
Unreasonable. So you better walk it back.
I think everybody should walk it back.
I think you should too, but specifically if you're wearing athletic wear.
Athleisure is, we're going to count it.
Yes.
Okay. Really strong opinion. Clam chowder is garbage. It is hot fish yogurt.
I agree.
Hot fish yogurt.
Well, I'm not a fish person anyway.
Really?
No.
I love fish.
I like I'll eat shrimp and stuff like that, crab, but fish, not my thing. I don't know why.
Hot fish yogurt. Okay.
Hot fish yogurt.
It is so accurate though, right?
Yes.
Hot fish yogurt. Okay.
I don't want to hear about your child's Minecraft world. I don't want to know how they built it. I don't want to know how they mined it. I don't want to know. I don't want this. I just,
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Weird.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No, I don't video game unless it's Mario Kart and then I just kick their tails. Okay. So I'll stay on the same kind of theme for me. I think fantasy sports is ridiculous. I like zero judgment if like that's your thing.
Sure.
But I remember like being in meetings, and it was like a male dominated meeting. Not that women aren't into it, and they would get on about their like fantasy league, and I'm like, y'all, there's enough to like in the real world. There is enough. There is enough. There is enough. There is enough. I don't want to be in your sports fantasy league. I actually feel very honored to have been invited lots of times in a way, because I'm like, oh, I like doing the thing. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Fantasy sports.
I think that comes from, I saw this guy say the other day that every man firmly believes that they could be a professional athlete. That if they would just train harder, or they would just be committed to it.
Sky's the limit.
That the sky's the limit. That every man at some point in their life, and then looking at the thousands of comments, all of the men were like, absolutely.
Well, then they're super. Well, and how often?
And so I think fantasy gives them the opportunity to be professional.
How often? It's like I saw a thing recently, and it was like anybody with like online people who are actually truly good at something, gifted at something, especially if they've gone to school for a really long time for it. They aren't the people that are like ultra critical of others typically.
Right.
It's folks who don't have skin in the game. It's folks who like really don't know as much that get like really, really critical of it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, I wonder if like the further separated we are from being able to be a professional athlete, the more critical we are
Right.
of others. And I don't. Now, like I feel like the pieces are
coming together.
Okay, last one. It's on you.
I judge people who litter.
Oh,
Yes. But littering is everything to me. Litter, like you, especially.
you said something dumb. It's auditory litter.
Yes, auditory litter. Absolutely. Why are you polluting our airways? Take the microphone away. No.
We say as we're like talking about like nonsense, absolute nonsense. Welcome to the pollution show.
Specifically people who throw their cigarette butts on the ground.
Okay.
I have such strong opinions about that. Someday I will be brave enough to be like, excuse me, you dropped something. But a lot of times the people that are dropping them are like people that could beat me up. Like, not that I'm judging, because I used to be a smoker, so I'm not judging you, but
they're tough people.
They're tough people.
Tough and super cool, because that's what the commercials used to show us. They can't have those commercials anymore. But
yeah, you can.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yes.
So if you are, here we go. Trying to think of all of our different things. A strawberry candy lover.
A non-returning
A non-cart returner.
Yeah.
From Boston and enjoy clam chowder. Is that where it's a New England? Is that? I don't know where.
Is it?
I don't know where clam chowder comes from.
We
I
don't
blocked
know,
it
but
out.
it's disgusting.
If you're a lover of clam chowder or just whatever, we're so glad we could be here to offend you today.
If you talk about Minecraft.
If you drop cigarette butts. If you
play fantasy football.
You play fantasy football, and so like we're sure that you're great, but also
this is a non-judgment zone.
This is a non-judgment. No, that should be like things I'm super judgy about. Like it's like that's it. Welcome to the judgment section. It's the thank you notes of the.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's what we should do. Thank you notes. All right. Well, thanks for listening to things that don't matter and also matter a lot to us. Things that don't matter that matter to me.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
All right. So today's topic, I think. I already introduced.
What are we talking about? Oh, workplace stuff.
Workplace stuff, and we will start the time. Here you go. 15 minutes of workplace stuff.
You read them. I didn't. So give me specific before we start answering, so I know.
Well, let's split them into two sections. Okay. So it was a lot about like dealing with difficult people.
Okay.
And then there was also like sharing your faith in the workplace.
Okay.
Difficult people was probably the most like prevalent one, and
okay.
I honestly like that's a question that most of us maybe. It's like we don't want to ask, but we'll ask. So I'll turn this.
Yep. My mark gets it.
Oh gosh, look how awkward my wrist is right now. Why didn't I just like do it a normal human way? Watch out. All right, so I'll say this.
Action.
I worked with people in a like office setting, but I always worked in like church. I've always worked in faith-based organizations.
I have not.
But now, yeah, and so you're gonna have some different things to say. Not that like people in faith-based organizations can't be difficult to work with.
Yeah.
It's probably
we're not sitting around. If you're in ministry vocation, people are not sitting around singing Kumbaya every day.
No, it's a real thing.
It's a real workplace environment.
Well, and it's so skin in the game, and it's like everything. It's like everything matters, and everything feels like it matters.
Yes.
And even when it maybe
we're
doesn't
all
less.
human.
And so we get really big opinions about it. We're passionate, all those things.
But I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't want people to think that in church, like if you've never worked on a church staff, like don't think that there's like everybody just gets along
but
all the time.
And you've worked in just so many environments, but now we both are kind of individual contractors and creators. So it's very different. So I think we can look back with just a different perspective. And so it's like we'll keep from getting like maybe overly practical and go big picture. And so let's talk difficult people in the workplace. Like how should we deal? And what's the deal? And can you hit back? Like, I don't know. So let's go.
So one, I think you do have to take your workplace into consideration. Like even like faith-based versus non-faith-based. Even within that scope, you have to take who you're working with, what type of, so like I worked for a very large, humongous insurance corporation, and which most people in San Antonio have worked for this insurance corporation, if you know which one I'm talking about. And so you are dealing with so many departments. It's nothing but cubicles. There's hierarchies and managers and pods and all of these things, right? And so I think that you have to look at proximity, like who is this person in your work world? Like, are we talking about I'm having difficulty with a workplace person that is the CEO, or are we talking about a person who literally works in your unit? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because I think that it does matter how you handle the situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because sometimes it's, so say it's like the CEO, you are having to deal with someone else's decisions, but it's not like you can break up with a friend, the boyfriend, the whatever, you can deal, but like it's like your job, it's like there's larger implications for everything. I shouldn't have, but in your job, if you step away, like you need that livelihood often. It's not just an option to walk away, things like that. There are like levels of respect that we should be like let's start here. It doesn't matter the environment. It doesn't whatever it is, we're called to be loving and honoring and respectful and all of those things. And so we'll start there. The right thing in your workplace for you is never going to be as satisfying as it is. It's never going to be rude, ugly, dismissive, and really dishonoring, because that is my biggest, not pet peeve, one of my passions is when we get dishonoring, we dehumanize.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. The people that you work with are humans. They're created in the image of God. And it is vital, even when we disagree, even when we don't have to be doormats, but we do need to recognize that.
Right.
Always. No matter what the difficult situation is, this is a person.
Right.
And when you're like, well, they're treating me this way, your desire is that they would treat you like a person.
Right.
And so we have to treat others like people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so,
but it will make a difference, like as far as like CEO versus your coworker, whether or not there's an opportunity for reconciliation and like what you're going to do with that.
Yeah.
When I was working at this insurance company, I was probably the difficult person to work with because
none of us had any doubt about that. Like that's why I asked you to talk about this topic. This is an intervention.
I literally went, there was like a book sale downstairs, and I went and I bought this book, and it was called Dealing with People You Can't Stand. And I bought this book and I left it on my desk on the regular so that people knew how I felt about them.
Dude, you are the worst. Like, that is so funny. So this episode is called Don't Be Like Tiff.
Don't be like Tiff.
Don't be like Tiff.
Don't be like Tiff in corporate America.
Yeah. But there is something too, because there's like, you have these two extremes. It's like you can be completely passive, kind of doormat, and then go all the way to the other side and be, I don't want to say difficult, like constantly demand your own way. And like, let's just fill in the gaps, because I think we've, not that we've always been both of those, because some personalities really go one way, some go the other, but I don't think like two extremes. The right things to often in the middle, not always like that, because there's, it's not just compromising your values and things like that. And so I would say that there are two sides, and let's jump to Jesus. Is Jesus, I mean, in like the authority. And I mean, like there is no one who ever had greater authority. There's never anyone who was more right. There was never, and he opted not to like flex.
Right.
He opted not to flex or demand his own way and things like that. Like he spoke truth. He was really direct, but he wasn't like, you're not going to see, it's just, he did not demand and force his way. He didn't like make people believe. He could have. He didn't make.
Right.
That's, man, that would be fun to get in like to the temptations of Jesus.
Yeah.
Because they all really were kind of would have been him doing like what his flesh like wanted.
Right.
In that sense. And so.
Yeah. I think being filled with peace, right? And this just popped into my head. I think the biggest thing that we can do in a workplace environment is not engage in gossip.
That is 100%. I'm so glad you said that.
I mean, I think that is the root of all evil in any workplace is the gossip.
And it is because it's talking about someone as if like they're, imagine this is, I think about our online world right now. It's like folks will like comment in, say it's a creator's work, and they'll go and comment as if like that person's not there in quotation marks.
Right,
like you comment like you're like, this person's an idiot. And it's like, it's this person's post.
Right.
You can say you're an idiot.
Right. Say it to my face.
Say it to my face. And so it's not true, Libre. So it's, yeah. And so we have to be really, really careful with that because it can so easily go like dehumanizing. It can be so like comforting. It's great movie, Steel Magnolias. If you don't have anything nice to say, come sit by me.
Yes.
And oh man, that's satisfying. Oh, that feels great. It feels good. It feels, like, let's be real. It feels so great.
Right. It makes us feel better, especially if we've particularly been hurt by somebody or something, or within the workplace. Like if you know that somebody is vindictive or is out to get you, or, has hurt your feelings, or didn't give you the promotion, like if somebody sits by you and is going to talk negatively about that person, it absolutely is going to make you feel better, because the worse I paint that person, the better I become.
Yeah.
And there's such pride in that. And I mean, even no matter what workplace I've worked in, and I've worked in major corporations, I worked in a small advertising agency, I have been in ministry, vocational ministry, I have been self-employed. I don't gossip with myself about me, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh Lord, I do.
But I could come home and like gossip about my clients, things I don't like about them, whatever, and tear them down. Like every opportunity, every workplace gives us an opportunity to talk about other people. Mm-hmm. And I think that is always, to me, the root of a lot of issues within the workplace.
And 100%. And now let me say, it is okay to like air grievances, the Festivus, the airing of grievances.
Yes.
But like, I think it's maybe a good litmus test. If it's to your spouse, it's a little bit different. If it's to like a friend, it's a little bit different. But it's like maybe the litmus test is if this isn't a conversation that you're willing to have with them and like to confront them about and to whatever, like maybe you need to like go, I'm so frustrated with this. And that's okay to say. It's okay to say that.
To your safe person.
Even, within the workplace, it's just, we have to be so careful. And here's like the benefit of this. And maybe, when it comes to sharing your faith, kind of, it's, if you can show yourself as being trustworthy, as not going, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what such and such said. Or, when like people see that you won't trash others, when people see that you won't break confidences, you are becoming a trustworthy person. You may get excluded because you're not like that guy. And like that stinks. And let's talk about that for a second, because we'll get to like your values and holding to that. But when you prove yourself trustworthy in that way, people will tend to trust you.
Right.
Right. It's, and so this is something I heard said once, always stuck with me, but it's like the more we trust God, the more trustworthy he proves himself to be. Sure. And in the same way, prove yourself to be trustworthy. And I think it will go an incredibly long way in sharing your faith, even in environments where you can't.
Right.
And so that's really significant. Let's talk about values. Like, because you're like...
Can I say one more thing?
No, please say.
One more thing, and then we'll talk about values.
Yeah.
I think that, because I want to give you guys, like, how do you get out of gossip? How do you get out of it? Because it's everywhere, and in the workplace, usually it's no matter where you're at, somebody's talking about somebody. And how do we create this space for our values to come alive? I think it's through compassion, right? Looking at everybody around us as their story, as they've come from someplace.
As a whole person,
as
and
a
not
whole
just
person.
what bothers you.
Yes, exactly. And so if if you come to me with gossip about somebody, I can answer that in compassion. If you come to me and say, you know, so-and-so, blah, 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 I can say, yeah, you know, that's rough. Maybe so-and-so had a really rough life, or maybe so-and-so, to challenge the person that I'm with to think about things in compassion as well. And so if we can kind of look at things through that lens of compassion, it's going to create that space for our values.
Yes.
To come alive.
Absolutely.
Instead of engaging and like crossing over to the dark side.
It's and it's so and be careful, because I can see this thing where you go, okay, I want to stay on the right side of this line, so let me come to you and be like, let me just tell you how I'm not the person you disagree with, a friend, a coworker, your boss, and go, let me just tell you this thing that's like bothering me. I just need to like say it, and like, you know, for compassion's sake and all of that. Well, be careful you're not being manipulative.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, be careful you're not just saying like, oh, I just need to say this thing, but like, be just like, check your heart. Check your heart.
Yeah. And I'm talking more like in response to people.
Absolutely.
Like, you're not initiating this, right? But if somebody comes to you and starts gossiping, why not say, man, maybe they just had a really bad day.
Be the person your dog thinks you are, you know?
Yeah.
And no, that's awesome. I love that. So
with that, right? So if we can look at things with compassion, if we can look at things through this lens, because that's who Jesus was. Jesus was walking compassion.
Yeah.
And we can look at humans for their humanity and their failures, and that creates this space for us to be like, okay, this is who God's created to me, and this is how created me to be, and this is how I can live that out. And that kind of goes into what you were going to say about values.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's a great book, and it's not like a faith-based book, but it's called Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown.
Oh yeah.
And she talks about like, hey, you have to have a strong back, a soft front, and a wild heart. But it's like, so you need to don't like guard up and be like just tainted by the world around you in that. Like, it's like, learn how to have that soft front, but also know who you are and have that strong back. And that's a really tough thing to balance. And so to ethics in the workplace, I thought of something, and it's not, I thought of several biblical stories immediately. I think about Daniel, who was, you know, like worked for the king at the time. They got along, he did work, but there was, the king was kind of manipulated into saying, hey, no gods will be worshiped but me. I am the God to be worshiped. And Daniel's like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, I got to stick to who I am. They ultimately find out that Daniel isn't doing what he's supposed to be. They throw him in the lion's den. It's maybe a story you heard as a kid, or, you know, and then he ends up ultimately like surviving the lion's den, shockingly. But I think we see this, like the ethics of here, this integrity here in Daniel of going like, hey, I understand this is what everyone else is doing. I understand this is what's expected of me. However, this goes beyond who I am, who I've been created to be, how I've been created to honor God above honoring in a sense of worship, like this king. And then we also see the same thing with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, like refusing to bow down, end up in like the literal fiery furnace. The bunny.
Ooh,
Veggie Tales.
the bunny.
That's so good. I should go watch that one with my kids. But so we can see where we have these rich stories, but ultimately the folks surrounding them, when they saw that they would stand by their values even when it was difficult, it stood as a testimony to others. And so I can just see in a workplace where when the culture can feel unethical, it can feel toxic, it can feel whatever, it can be that, you know, whatever that is, take the dilemma and we hold on our values. It's sometimes you're going to be in the furnace and it's going to feel like it in the lion's den. Oh my gosh, can't work feel like that.
Let me qualify that too. That's biblical values.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
This is biblical values, because, you know, that's what this is all about, right? Making this real and relevant. And so we're very much talking about biblical values, not just a worldly value that you may have about something.
And I think you're going, well, it's unfair. It's all those things. You know what? It probably is. And that's really unfortunate. This person got the promotion and I didn't. We're really close, but I think we can wrap up. This person got the promotion. I've been treated this way, all of those different things. And that is so difficult. And the thing is, yes, it is. It is. Maybe it's not fair. Probably not. And that's unfortunate. But it reminds me of when Jesus was talking about, a Roman soldier could ask any citizen, not even citizen, anybody, to carry their pack for a mile. And Jesus says, pick up the pack, carry it for another mile.
Right.
Carry it for another mile. And stand out as something unique, something different, and watch how, we'll bring it all the way around for full circle, watch how that shares your faith with others, even in environments where you can't. Now, in environments where you can, let's be really practical, then do.
Right.
But
that doesn't mean going and being like, hi, I'm Tiffany, I'm new here. Have you accepted the Lord?
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah. It's still through relationship at the end of the day.
Relationship, 100%. Yeah. Prove yourself to be trustworthy, to be consistent, to hold to your values, your biblical values, and see what happens. Penn Jillette is an atheist. He's a Penn and Teller guy, right? And he says, if you believe like an eternal life, like how much must you hate someone to not share that with them? Right. And it's just always just such a great reminder of just the gift, and that's such a small word, but the gift that you have been given that is freely available to others as well. Yeah. And just your call to, as you go, share that.
Yes.
And
you do that through your values. You do that through not gossiping. You do that, all of those things are tangible. That's all tangible ways that you are showing that you are different than everybody else.
Ask questions, learn about people, follow up with them, see what's going on, and see what happens. You're going to get burned. You are. It's not going to feel fair, all of those things. But living out your faith in your workplace is like living out your faith everywhere. I wish we had this magical answer. Do X, Y, and Z.
It doesn't work like that.
Make your demands, do your things, and demand proper, advocate for yourself. Yes. We're not going to get into that. But
don't be a doormat. Yeah, but you know what? Pray about it. I know that's like we'll just pray about it and it'll be fine. For real. But for real. Yeah. Going to God and saying, okay, God, why am I... Not just like, God, get me out of this circumstance, but like, Lord, what can I do for you here in this moment? Yeah. How can I be your hands and feet? How can I show all of these people who are obviously hurting, how can I be Jesus to them so that they can come to me and say, why are you different?
Yes.
And then I'll have that opportunity to share with them.
That's it. Yeah. So both sharing your faith in your workplace, dealing with difficult situations, it's, dealing with difficult situations is difficult.
Yeah, it is.
And
that's our insight of the day.
Bad advice. Suck it up. And so that's, our 15 minutes on 16, 17, 20 minutes on just workplace dynamics. Yeah. And maybe if you have other, if you're
quit your job and start a podcast. Just kidding.
Quit your job and start a podcast. Ooh.
Just kidding.
So maybe. So anyway, so if you want to dig deeper into specifics or whatever, ask a question and maybe we'll get into a specific, because that's always fun. Yeah. I know we went super broad.
Or if you have a story, where you had to make an ethical decision, we want to know about it. Yeah. Make a little video, send it in. We want to know about how, or if you have a time where you have overcome what's happened in the workplace. Send us a little something so that we can share that hope with others that it's possible.
It absolutely. Yeah. And so, be really here. It's typical advice. Fight the good fight.
Pray about it.
Pray about it, which are all good things. Don't get me wrong. It's all great things, and see what happens. And man, I think of so many stories about workplace dynamics. It's so good.
I know.
And so thanks. That's it. That's the Everyday Truths podcast, tabletop edition. And so we'll hit up some different topics. We'll try to talk about them. So maybe the episode ends up about 20 minutes long with intro. And stuff.
We'll
it's
see.
Fun.
Yeah,
easy little commute deal. So hopefully that was helpful on your way to work. Don't strangle anybody today. And we'll see you later.
Go in peace. Serve the Lord.
Well, thanks for listening to the Everyday Truths podcast. I hope this conversation was a blessing to you. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the Everyday Truths podcast so you don't miss any of the episodes that come out. Next week, we're going to be jumping into another question that you guys have sent in. And so I'm excited to share that with you. And so until next time.